with a presentation by Maria Dewar on the J. O'Connell Associates grant update. Since it was early October last year, about 13 months ago, we did a resolution to engage that firm to assist us on grants. So, Maria?
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Maria Dewar. I'm the Administrative Assistant Office Clerk for the Director of Community Planning and Development and the Town Engineer. In addition to this role, I also serve as the Town Liaison between the grant consulting firm and the Town Department Heads. So today I'm here to tell you a little bit about our progress so far in the grant world. Identified roles. Each of the 4 circles on this slide play an integral part in the grant process. The department heads lead the process. They decide if a grant opportunity is applied for and assist the grant consultant in formulating the narrative as they are the prime expert source. The grant consulting firm, G. O'Connell & Associates, wordsmith the narrative and develop and organize the grant to help the town submit a standout application. They're well versed in the standards for federal, state, and foundation grants. Hiring the consultants has enabled the town to begin to tackle projects that would otherwise be put on the back burner. Having their assistance allows the department heads to be more proactive rather than reactive to grant opportunities, making the process much smoother. WEDA and its director, Matt Chatfield, assist the town and the grant consulting firm when it's appropriate to the grant. Matt's wealth of local knowledge and history of working with the town has positively impacted the grants that he has assisted with. Working with the town's grant consultant hasn't taken away from WEDA's role in grants for the town, it has enhanced it, as now Matt is involved in grants that benefit the economic development of the town, which is part of WEDA's mission. And finally, the grant liaison. In this role, I support the whole grants process. I help organize, gather, and keep the application moving and meeting the due dates of the timeline. The procedure. After the grant contracted with G. O'Connell Associates at the end of 2023, we set up meetings with each department head to discuss their goals, future projects, and wish lists for their department. The information gathered during this process serves as a repository of key topics, which is used by the consulting team to search for grant opportunities for the town. Once an opportunity is identified, the grant consultant sends me the opportunity. Together, we organize the list of supporting documentation needed to create the timeline for submission. The package is shared with the department head. The department head decides whether an opportunity is a viable option. If the department head has a great need for the funding and the supporting documentation is available or realistically achievable to attain, then the opportunity is pursued. If the documentation isn't available or accessible in the time frame needed, then the opportunity is added to the future list. Having this future list allows the town to slowly gather the information needed in advance of the grant opening in another funding cycle. How we apply for grants. When the decision is to apply, then the grant team is formed. This team is formed at the direction of the department head who serves as the project manager. The team will consist of the department head and identified supporting staff, the grant consultant, the grant liaison, and WEDA if appropriate. The first meeting consists of firming up the timeline and identifying who will gather each piece of documentation needed. Everyone involved gets a responsibility. Various follow-up meetings will occur to discuss progress and review pieces of the application as they're completed and ready for proofing. The complexity of the grant determines the number of follow-up meetings. Before the final application is submitted, the team for the grant proofs the final document. Once identified changes are made and incorporated into the application by the grant consultant, they submit the application and then we wait for the decision. An example of this process was with the LGR-MIF grant, or Local Government Records Management Improvement Fund. It was led by the town clerk. At the time of the writing of the grant, the position was held by Dolly McGuire. She identified the building department as the supporting staff for the grant, as digitizing commercial plans was the project identified for the application. Digitizing will allow the records to be more accessible for staff and free up space in the archive area that is quickly running out of space. Steps after the decision is received. If an application is awarded, the team takes a minute to celebrate, just a minute, and then begins to firm up plans while we wait to receive the contract to review and sign. Once signed, the town can begin the processes associated with beginning a project. Grants aren't awarded to everyone who puts in an application. The awards go to the most dynamic project and application as deemed by the selection committee. When the town isn't selected, we set up a meeting with the selection committee of that grant to discuss our application, what they thought was missing, or what should be added to make it a standout application in the future. One grant we recently weren't awarded for was the TAP grant. During our meeting with the selection committee, they let the team know that they liked the proposed project as described, but were looking for some additional supporting documentation that would have enhanced our project. We have taken the feedback into consideration and are working to get the additional suggested information to add to our future application. The grants matrix. The grants matrix was originally created as an internal tracking method of grants identified as viable for application. It's shared with the department heads and their deputies or office managers so that they can track when the funding decision has been received. As an exercise in transparency, this matrix is now posted on the town website. For the viewers at home, this matrix can be found under our community tab on the town website, then select grant tracking. It's on this page where the matrix is housed. The matrix includes the name of the grant, project to be funded, amount requested, status of award notice, and amount awarded. This will be updated quarterly or as awards are received. Also, the matrix will soon grow to show not just the grants that Jean O'Connell and Associates lead, but also grants being developed by department heads and their staff, or also grants that have been developed in partnership with WIDA. One such grant that will be added is the Restore New York grant. This application is a collaboration between WIDA and the town. Return on investment. To date, with the help of our grant consultant, the town has applied for $8,102,706.91 in grants. So far, we've been awarded $471,657 in grant funds. We're still waiting for the decisions on the WIDA grant for the Vosburg Pump Station, the LWRP grant for Phase 2 of Sandbar Park, and the MWRR grant for a piece of equipment for the Highway Department, totaling $3,559,616.91. To date, we have paid the grant consultant $46,800. With just the grant awards received so far, we've already seen a return on investment of 907%. So for every dollar spent, we have earned 9. In closing, the relationship is working, can only get better, and I look forward to being part of that.
Thanks, Maria. Do the town board members have any questions or comments for Maria?
I do not have a question. Maria, I want to thank you for an excellent presentation. It was fantastic. And the process of applying for grants and going through all of that and being the communication between all of the parties is an enormous lift. And I want to thank you for all that you've done to really make that happen for the town in the past year and a half or 2 years. Obviously, we see the return that we're getting for this effort, and I just want to commend you for that. Thank you.
Thanks, Maria.
Thank you.
Thank you.